responding in the chat. Lynn Simpson says, in my humble opinion, and listen, she's been respectful. No issues here with that. You come in, you make your point. If it's respectful, we have no issues with that. You're not real fans. That's a bit harsh. But because you would back the club through good and bad. But these fans would be something totally different if Arsenal won the Champions League or the Premier League. Would all change. I'll come in just quickly before Aaron, because the real fans are the ones that want the best for the club. And you're talking to people here that have beat the games, the people that live and breathe this club. It's the fans that are accepting it are the cardboard ones who don't mind what's happening, because their whole week isn't ruined when they lose, like ours is. And their whole week isn't ruined when we're getting terrible news about the club. We're just demanding standards. Aaron, you were having a good, polite debate with Lynn there. I just want to let you come in on this, because I think I know your stance on this, but I'll open the floor to you, Aaron.
Yeah, no, well and good. But people never know other people's circumstances, so I'm happy to reveal some of my young kids. I've got a missus, and every single time I go watch Arsenal, which is every week, by the way, because I've got a season ticket, I decide to spend my thousands of pounds to go and follow them. I also choose to give up a lot of time with my 2 young kids and my missus. I follow them at home, sometimes away, but not all the time. In Europe also, I spend a lot of my money and a lot of my time going to follow Arsenal. So I don't really know what you constitute as a real fan, but I think that's probably there or thereabouts as real as you can get it in terms of effort that I put into the club, as well as financially. Also, there is a point to be made that I want us to win. You're also saying about, if we'd have won the Premier League or Champions League, things might be slightly different. Well, yeah, of course they would, because we would have won a Premier League or a Champions League. But the very fact of the matter is we haven't. I'm all for giving a new manager a set period of time. And unfortunately, I'm not willing to wait any longer than 2 or 3 years if I can't see anything. Fair dues to him. He came in after 6 months, won an FA Cup, and I thought, wow, maybe not great domestically, but let's see what he's got next season. He finished 8th next season, got embarrassed in Europe. Then he didn't finish in Europe. Then next season, we were humbled again domestically in all competitions and in Europe. It gets to the point where, right, okay, now I'm going to the Emirates and being excited quite often, because we was absolutely attacking teams from the off. Every single game, I'm leaving the Emirates thinking, wow, this is pretty good. That was 3 seasons ago, by the way. And then we bottled it. And then next season, we bottled it again. And then we bottled it again. For me, that's not good enough. 5 years is a very, very, very long time for all of our lives. And guess what? This year, we're not getting any better. We're finishing further away from the teams. We're getting embarrassed by Manchester United at home in the Cup. In both semi-finals, which I'm sure you'll bring up, well, we got to 2 semi-finals. And in the Champions League, well, guess what? We actually found our level this year, because we lost all 4 of them legs. We were humiliated home and away by the same score against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. And then we went to PSG, which I was at, by the way, and we lost the leg within 3 minutes. Absolutely embarrassing. Lost all 4 of them. We weren't in that competition or in the Carabao Cup, probably not even 20 minutes out of the whole 360 minutes that were played. We probably weren't even in that competition, and both of them for about 20 minutes. It's embarrassing. So when you're saying about, what's a real fan constitute? Do you know what? I don't know whether you're a real fan or not, because I've only got one message to go by. But I tell you what, your way of thinking is probably more damage to the football club, putting a little plaster over heart surgery, than what I'm going through. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you need surgery. You're like, nah, just put a Band-Aid over it. You'll be fine. Let's just pretend it's all good. Let's just do that. Turn around and blind ourselves by the truth. And the truth is, this football club's going nowhere under this manager, and I have 5 years of facts to prove it. There you go. What are we doing here?
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Aaron spitting facts, of course. Aaron spitting facts. Lawrence, when did it become wrong for Arsenal fans to have standards?
The moment Arteta was made manager. This is for Lynn Simpson, and Bulgarian Guna have been posting in the comments, right? This is my Arsenal shirt, and on the front there's a cannon on it. There's not a picture of a Spanish clown with his name on it. All of us on this panel, and most of the people in the room, we support Arsenal FC. We do not follow Arteta FC. There's no such thing as Arteta FC. There's no picture of a Spanish clown on this shirt. This is the shirt of a team that's going to be 140 years old next year. Okay, it wasn't founded in 2019. Okay. And Lynn, with due respect to you, you're stuck in 2004 if you keep talking about the Invincibles. Last time I looked on my calendar, it said the year was 2025. You're living in the past. You're a prime example of a plastic deluded AKB ostrich that I keep going on about. You wear Arteta tinted specs all the time because you won't have a bad word said against this clown. Okay? You've got your head stuck so far in the sand, you can't face reality. You're like a junkie. You're like an alcoholic. You're like a gambler. You know you can't admit, or you refuse to admit there's a problem, but deep down inside, you know there is a problem, but you can't face facts.
Brilliant, Lawrence. And that's what it is. That's what it is. It's not Arteta FC. And I think, and I'll bring you in, Normski, and then I will wrap it up because we're coming up to 3 hours again. I'm mind blown by all the people in the chat. You're still holding the crowd, and I hope you're having as good a time as I am because I'm blown away by the support, and obviously the world class panel have been unbelievable. But Normski, I mean,
listen,
we're not even asking for much standards, are we, Norms? I mean, we just wanted to lead up to
I'm sure Lynn and the Bulgarian guy, mate. I don't know. Were they Unai Emery in, or did they want him out?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be interested to know your views on Unai Emery, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I keep going back to the fact is that we want standards. You're telling us that we're moaning. We're not moaning. We just want standards. I'm not here about mediocrity. Yeah, 2004. If somebody has said to me in 2004, right, guess what, Norms? You're never, ever going to win the Premier League ever again. Yeah? You're going not only that, you're gonna get a manager that talks about light bulbs and squeezing lemons. Right? No, if somebody said that to me in 2000, because remember, social media wasn't about that kind of social media. If somebody said that, obviously you'd be joking. 2004, you're expecting to push on. And yes, that was under Wenger. Yeah. Wenger said top 4 was like a trophy. We're now saying today that second place now is like a trophy. They will defend this to the hill. We've challenged. How many times are you going to challenge? When are we going to get it over the line? That's all we're asking. Get it over the line. If you're not the manager to do it, then pass the baton on to someone else that can do it.
Yes.
All we're asking for.
Well, no, so listen, I'm so glad that, listen, this is the beauty of it. You know, everybody was respectful. They have their Lynn as their opinion, and that's fine. That's all well and good. She came in, she respectfully said it. She respectfully said her question. She didn't say, oh, you guys are dicks or anything like that. You know, it was respectfully said. But I went to a panel and I was just blown away because this is if like someone put up, if Aaron's not a real fan, then there is no such thing. You know what I mean? And that goes for Normsy, it goes for Lawrence, and it goes for Tops. And I can personally tell you, it goes for myself. You know what I mean? But listen, guys, I am going to round it off. It's been absolutely mind blowing. I think it's the best panel show I've ever done. And it's all down to the chat, and it's all down to the wonderful panel, of course. But Tops, what have you got coming up, my man? And big up to T-Chan. So all the channels are linked, by the way. So make sure you're subscribing to everyone on the panel. We're here for your entertainment, but yous are here to support us as well. But Tops, what have you got coming up, my man?